What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Live. Super stoked for this one. We got a special episode. It's not LA beer. We're doing Alchemist from Vermont versus Russian River from Santa Rosa, Windsor, Northern California. We got Focal Banger versus Blind Pig. We got Heady Topper versus Pliny the Elder. And then we also have a very special Pliny versus Pliny at the very end. So really stoked to jump into these beers. This is Friday Night Live, the live tasting show where I'm cracking open some beers from the fridge that I've been eyeing all week. And you guys are doing the same. So before we get into it, let me know, what are you guys drinking tonight? It's Friday, 7 p.m. We're a little bit later this week, now into 2021. And man, the world is crazy. But we're not going to get too deep into that. This is an opportunity for us to escape, to drink some beer, to talk about the beer, and just enjoy that. So drop a comment. Let me know what you're drinking. What's up, Mr. 2020? Pello Man, Caroline. We got the PRSC team in the house. Hoppy Head Productions, what's going on? Fernie Pad, what's going on? Joshua Herrera, good to see you, brother. Yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what you're drinking tonight. While I'm about to crack into beer number one. Very excited to crack open into little Alchemist this evening. These are, Alchemist and Russian River, kind of the godfathers of IPA, of modern day IPA. So yeah, Focal Banger, let's do it. And they say drink from the can. I'm not going to drink from the can. You do that, I'll drink from a glass. Alrighty. And I was just talking about this with someone. I'm not so sure if I've ever had Focal Banger. I must have had it before, but I can't even really remember it. What's up, Andrew? What's going on, brother? Jeremiah drinking the Fremont Sky Kraken. Nice. ATX Beer Reviews having some Focal Banger. Nice. Joining me right now. Awesome. So Focal Banger, the Alchemist out of Vermont. These guys are kind of widely known as being the inspiration for modern day hazy IPA, New England style IPA. As you can see, hazy. This beer was brewed back when it wasn't cool to have your beer looking like this, which is why it says drink straight from the can. And I don't think that I'm going to drink this and kind of taste what we know as today as a hazy IPA. From what I remember and what I've kind of know about this beer and about Heady Topper, they are kind of like have a little bit more of like West Coast characteristics and some bitterness on them. But yeah, just really huge hop additions in these beers back in the day when that really wasn't being done, especially there on the East Coast. So kind of simultaneously, Alchemist in Vermont leading the charge there, and then Russian River, Vinny, the Blind Pig Brewing Company, leading the charge with that, heavy hopping on the West Coast here. So we're gonna taste them side by side and just see how they are. Just great nose, big, massive hop aromas coming right out of that glass. Cheers, guys. All right, so yeah, this is an interesting beer. Definitely lighter on the body, lighter mouthfeel than what you would expect from kind of the modern day IPA that's like a little bit more creamy. This has a little bit more bite to it. Definitely has a bitter backbone on it. What's up, Bad Dad? What are you cracking open today, buddy? Just kicking things off here with some Focal Banger. And this is the single IPA, so this is what, 7.5%? 7%. And just, I love the artwork on this can. It's just like that classic, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of like a mad scientist. Really neat. And this is a beer that, this and really Heady Topper, but also Focal Banger, a beer that I chased for a long time back in the day. And it took a trip to the East Coast. Actually, I was in Boston where I was able to get a can of Heady Topper and have that for the first time. And it was just a magical experience. And it's just really cool that now these beers do make it to the West Coast every now and then. And they're making it out here pretty fresh. So what's the date on this? canned December 10th. So pretty nice. I think I picked this can up like at the end of December. So it's been sitting for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's got a bitterness that, you know, you don't see in today's modern New England style beers, which is cool. This is kind of like more West Coast than anything else, but it has a little bit of a softer body than like what you would see in like a regular West Coast IPA. What's up, Afton? Good to see you. Conrad, thanks for joining, buddy. Mega Man, what's going on, buddy? How's it going? IPK. Johnny Rev. I want to hear what you guys are drinking. Drop a comment. Let me know. So yeah, I'm just finishing up on Focal Banger here. Man, Friday came quick this week. Did a live tasting, a virtual tasting yesterday for our Hop Box product. For the people that bought in, the members of that box, we did a tasting last night of 8 different beers, and there were some double IPAs, there was a triple IPA in there. So needless to say, I wasn't really jumping at the bit to crack open some more beers today, but you know, you got to do it. You got to do it, especially when the beers are this good. So next up, we're gonna kind of move right along to the single IPA from Russian River, Blind Pig. I mean, Pliny gets all the love, gets all the hype, and I think a lot of people in the beer world, you know, will kind of stake their claim behind Blind Pig being their preference and like the better of the beers. It's been a while since I've had the two side by side, so I'm excited to just check it out. 6.25%, so we're dropping a little bit in ABV on this one. What's up, Emily? Joining us from the East Coast. Good to see you. Hobson Hughes in the chat. What's going on, buddy? What are you drinking tonight? Conrad's drinking New Glory Green Energy. Nice. Greenergy? Tom Mack drinking Burning Daylights Chief and Daylights. Nice. Keeping it West Coast. I dig. Ira Rover drinking Casa Cosmic Jungle. Can't go wrong with Casa. You really can't. What's up, Lolly Trum? Naughty Pine, how's it going? Do a little wave action at you. Hobson Hughes is calling it Blind Pig. So what do you guys think? Blind Pig or Pliny? Let's see. Johnny Rev about to crack that Robo Pills. Had that for the first time last night. Might have been my favorite beer from the Hop Box. I don't know. It's really good. I love that Strata and I love that Highland Park. Conrad's digs the Happy Hops. You know, I would have grabbed a bottle of Happy Hops if they had it. I picked these up from Handy Market in Burbank. Hobson Hughes drinking some Paperback. All right, Lolly Trum drinking Smoking Redhead from Brewyard. Nice, you guys are drinking some good stuff tonight. So we're gonna crack into Blind Pig and then just kind of see like, what is it even like? I mean, immediately you're seeing the clarity on this one. But let's see how that clearness comes through on the taste. There's a little more dankness on the nose on this beer. Yeah, while Focal Banger has a little bit more citrus and a little bit of sweetness, Blind Pig is a little more clean. It's got like lemon citrus, but pretty light. Yeah, lighter nose for sure. It seems like it'll be a less sweet beer. This is just a kind of a smaller beer in general, just in terms of how you're experiencing it, hitting your palate in a smaller way. I would say, and I kind of tend to go to this, and for anyone that listened on our live tasting, our virtual tasting last night, balance is the name of the game. It's what I'm looking for. And this beer has incredible balance. It makes it really drinkable. It gives you all the flavors, aromas, and experience that you want, and then it gets out of the way so that you're like, all right, ready for another sip. Whereas Focal Banger was bigger. It had just bigger flavors, and there was like a little bit of astringency on it, like some kind of pilly bitterness that I didn't really love, and kind of made me think like, do I want to go back in for another? Whereas Blind Pig is just like so clean, so crisp, goes down so smooth. It's a big difference between these two beers, and I'm gonna pour a little bit more so you can see them side by side. So we have Focal Banger here, we got Blind Pig here, and you can kind of see the single IPAs from Alchemist, from Russian River, really have a very distinct and noticeable difference on the appearance. On the nose too. This just has it's got this astringency on the nose. It's got this kind of sweeter citrus on the nose, almost like Flintstone vitamin. I'm kind of feeling on this. Whereas this beer is, Blind Pig just has kind of like lemon rind, just fresh citrus, but it's not overwhelming in terms of the aroma. So it's almost like you gotta kind of have to dig in, especially when you're going from this to this. It's like bigger to smaller. It's almost hiding for me. Anyways, needless to say, I'm picking Blind Pig any day over Focal Banger. That's for sure. And I guess, I'm a West Coast kid, so that's what I'm gonna do, right? So Dayrar is asking, what's a good Belgian beer? I am the wrong person to ask. I like sours. So some of the wild ales that are coming out of Belgium, I like some of that stuff, the lambics and things like that, but I really don't drink them all too often. Fernie Pat loves Handy Market. Yeah, great bottle shop over there in Burbank. Big Will. Russian River Mine Circus is one of my new favorite beers. That's a really well done hazy. I think for a brewery that really resisted the haze for a long time, they put out pretty solid beer. I'd have to try it again. I haven't had it in a while, but yeah, I mean, if you want a hazy and you want something solid, I know that's a good one. So, what's up, Danny? How's it going, man? Happy Friday. Hopefully you're drinking something good. Yeah, Conrad calling out the barbecue at Handy Market. They're killing it on the food there. Really good stuff. So yeah, I'm loving this Blind Pig. I could just sit here just sipping on this the entire live stream, but that would just get boring. So I'm gonna move on to the next beer. We're gonna step this baby up to double IPA time. Heady Topper. A beer that I chased for so long. This was like, I remember the first time I got a can in my hands, it was such a special moment. I never thought it would happen, and the day that it did, it was just such a cool thing. And so being able to have fresh Heady Topper on the West Coast, and having a Pliny the Elder in your other hand, if you told me that'd be happening 10 years ago, I wouldn't believe you. So it's pretty cool when you really think about it. All right, Heady pouring out. Turbidity. Drink from the can? I think not. Pellaman, bummed I missed out on that OG Blind Pig recipe release. I know, I missed out on that too. But apparently, I think, did they say that was the one they were going to be brewing more? Or was that the more rare one? I forget. One of them they said, this is probably the only time we're doing it. And then another one was like, we're going to probably continue to do this. I think the Blind Pig was the more rare one. But hopefully I can get a can. I don't really know. Hops and Highways. I thought Connor was naming a random new beer name. Yeah. Yeah, I think the barbecue chicken double dry hopped IPA, pastry stout. Hothead says, Focal Banger and Heady Topper are hype, to be honest. Anything that Monkish makes is way better. I mean, honestly, they're like such different beers than what Monkish puts out. I don't even think you can put them in the same sentence because they're just completely different. This isn't hazy IPA the way that Monkish makes hazy IPA. I mean, it is not clear, but at least the Focal Banger. So far, I'm about to dive into this, but these are more kind of like West Coast beers that were made hazy. These are kind of the grandfathers of what hazy IPA inspired, but I don't think that the style is really what you would call hazy IPA. Conrad says Pliny for president is better. Okay. And this phone has been hijacked by his wife. So if you're saying Pliny for president is better than regular Pliny, or are you saying it's better than this two-stage double... I should have researched this. It's a double dry hop, but I don't know what the two-stage thing refers to. I really would have to research what that exactly means from a brewing process perspective, because I'm not a brewer and I don't know much about brewing. So let's get into Heady Topper. I've been holding this glass and just chatting. Wow, I mean, I like this better than Focal Banger, that's for sure. It's got more balance on it. It's got a little bit of sweetness. It's got some nice bitterness on it. It's got a juicy component to it. Like it's got like what you would kind of, when you see juicy IPA these days, it's got kind of those vibes for sure. You know, it's not quite hazy. It's not quite West Coast. This is a great beer. Wow, this is a really good beer. I like this a lot. I mean, I should, right? But I mean, compared to Focal Banger, just Focal Banger I wouldn't get again. It's just not my style. But this is definitely something that's like super well balanced. I love the body on this beer. You know, compared, because it's got so much West Coast IPA vibes. But it has that kind of you know, the turbidity, the proteins that are in this malt bill, the yeast that they're using and how that's expressing itself, give it just a different experience from a mouthfeel perspective. So I like that. Hops and Highways, disappointed by Pliny for president, but it was on tap for too long. That's too bad. Heady Topper's great. I really think the transport makes a big difference, having had it on both coasts. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really wouldn't know. But and if for some reason the can that I had when I was in Boston 6 years ago, whenever that was, I feel like it was sweeter. The beer was more orange. So it did feel a little different, but dude, my memory's terrible. So like, it could have been exactly the same and I would still think it's different. Who knows? Pello Man saying you didn't drink them straight from the can. Yep. I probably should have. Let's see. I'm going to do side by side on Heady Topper. What is the difference? Okay. Oh my God. From the can, so much better. No, it's a fun little gimmick. Great beer. Love this, man. Now that's gonna be hard. I mean, I know I love Pliny the Elder. This is a pretty fresh batch here, bottled 12/28, so it's a couple weeks old. This is gonna be hard for, like, I like this beer a lot. How is Pliny gonna stack up to this? Let's try it. And for anyone just tuning in, got Pliny, we got Heady Topper, did some Blind Pig and some Focal Banger, and then we got a special Pliny versus Pliny side by side coming up just after this. The new Pliny versus the regular Pliny. And for anyone that hasn't been paying attention, Pliny the Younger is coming back. And it's coming back in bottles. You can order them online and get them shipped to you. So that's gonna be fucking cool. And El Segundo is releasing Power Plant Triple IPA next week, I believe. Or in a couple weeks or something like that. Pre-orders are available. That's an amazing triple IPA. So it's triple IPA season coming up. So prepare your livers, prepare yourselves. We have Pliny the Elder. It is clear. It is wonderfully golden and delicious. Got a nice looking head on top. Hoppy head. Got the good idea there. Drinking it straight from the can Makes them perfect for the shower. You know, I got another can here. I might do a shower beer tomorrow. We'll see. Next time I go live, I'll do the shower live. You know, from the neck up. Claremont has a great triple IPA. I love Claremont Craft Ales. I don't know if I've had their triple, but I'd be down to try it. Great brewery. All right, let's drink this Pliny the Elder. That's really good. I forgot how good that was. It's been a little bit since I had a Pliny the Elder, a regular one. I had Pliny for president, and that was bomb. But, wow. This is good. This is good. Emily, we'll send you some power plant. How about that? Fuck, this is a fantastic beer. Shit, man. How am I going to compare these two? All right, let's pour a little more in so we can just look at them a little better. Wow. This isn't hype talking right now. I'm putting aside the hype for a second. Maybe there's a little emotion. There's a little emotion in this. But there's definitely not hype. Like, I don't give a fuck about hype. These are fucking really good beers. These stand up. For sure. All right. We got double IPAs here. Heady Topper is, let's see what the can gives us. 8%. I'm trying to see if the description on the can, like, there's anything interesting to pull out here. So the reason why they're saying drink it from the can is because pouring it releases essential hop aromas that we have worked so hard to retain. Okay. You know, in my experience, you want to release some of those into the kind of olfactory system and the experience of putting a glass, especially kind of like a tulip glass, something that's going to really bring aroma straight to your mouth and your nose. But yeah, I don't know. Some people said that they just said that because it was hazy in a time where hazy beer was not cool. Pliny always tastes the same. Never a bad Pliny. You know, to be honest, I agree with you in most cases, unless you've had an old Pliny, in which case there is a bad Pliny out there, and it's that. And that's why I think I respect Russian River for a lot of different reasons, but really for staying so true to the freshness standards that they put out for their beer and for their distribution. Because Old Pliny is like, that would do damage to that brand. And so they've done a really good job protecting that over the years. So just another look at what these look like. Let's see if it comes through on the video. Not really. Yeah, you see a little bit more clarity here. From my view, there's a little bit more of a difference, but okay, let's do like a little side by side. Okay, now that I've already had a sip of Pliny the Elder, and now I've gone back to Heady Topper, I know that I like Pliny better. And the reason is this. Are you ready? Are you waiting for the reason? The reason is because it's the body. Like the softness that's on Heady Topper, it's a completely different experience. And I prefer this like really clean, crisp, it's a sharp, aggressive body on this beer, you know, like straight West Coast IPA style. Whereas you have a little bit more kind of like rounded softness to the beer, to Heady Topper. And of course there's a different yeast that's powering this beer. And yeah, I mean, I think I can see where this was like the kind of like inspiration for what ended up becoming New England style hazy IPA. But this isn't a hazy IPA. You couldn't ever call it that. Really good beer. Really good beer. But, you know, I think Pliny the Elder, for my palate, for my preference, flavor preferences, this is really where it's at. It just, I think what the softness of the body does in Heady Topper is it kind of restrains some of those hop flavors. So while they're incredibly aggressive, like, don't get me wrong, they're definitely there. They're aggressive and they're delicious. They're incredibly flavorful. The softness of the body kind of restrains that a little bit. Whereas Pliny the Elder just has a sharpness. And then the clarity and kind of lightness of the body gets out of the way so that the hops really have a chance to shine on the palate and in throughout the kind of like swallow experience. And I think that that's why I like this beer a lot more. So if I'm gonna dig into it, that's the reason. But in the end, sometimes you don't want to think about it. You just want to drink the one that you like. And that's gonna be Pliny the Elder for me. Surprise, surprise. The West Coast IPA guy chooses the West Coast IPA. All right, great stuff, man. Wow, I'm super excited to have been able to try these beers side by side. So for anyone just joining in, Focal Banger versus Blind Pig, which was super, super interesting. What's up, OC Brew Girl? Good to see ya. Hopsy Hughes Heady Topper is akin to El Segundo Blurred Lines, kinda, which is also really cool. Yeah, I mean, it has that kind of, that hybrid component. I think that Blurred Lines is a single, I mean, there's differences, but I get where you're coming from, for sure. So yeah, we did that Focal Banger, we did the Blind Pig, where Blind Pig, in my opinion, was just so head and shoulders above Focal Banger. Just so good. Ooh, I think what I need to do next is a side-by-side on Blind Pig and Pliny before I get into the Pliny versus Pliny. Then we did the Heady Topper versus Pliny the Elder, which was just goals, you know? Just, this was like, this was just a dream come true for me. It was so cool to do that. Yeah, so before we move on, we are going to do a Blind Pig versus Pliny and just see how that goes. And I'm gonna step away for 1 second so I can get some water, because this palate is getting pretty wrecked. 1 sec. And a couple pretzels just to kind of reset what's going on in here. While I take this short break to reset the palate, I always want to know, comment in, let me know what you guys are drinking. It is Friday after all, right? It has been a week, to say the least. Man, these pretzels are making me thirsty. So I've done a bunch of these live tastings with a bunch of different beers. This one is the most demanding on the palate that I've done so far. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do Blind Pig versus, sorry, I'm like being careful because I have a bunch of glassware here, versus Pliny the Elder. Which one do I like better? Let's try it out. I'm gonna kick things off with a little Blind Pig. Well, first let's look at them side by side. What's going on here? What's up, Brewed Up? Tyler and Lori, a couple of my favorites. Okay, so we have just a very identical looking beer. There's a tad more clarity in this Blind Pig. It's just a little bit of a chill haze here. A little bit of just a tad bit of haziness to this one here, but These beers, in terms of like SRM, little bit lighter yellow here, lighter gold. Cool. All right, let's do this. Okay, let's see. Wait, before I do this, I need to see what you guys are drinking. Fernie's got the same hat. Nice. Looking good, looking good. Big Will's got a couple cans of Yeti peanut butter. Interesting. That sounds good. I just had a Yeti. I was holding on to it for like almost a year. It was the chocolate cherry Yeti. It was a really interesting beer. Okay, Hops and Hues, depends on the time of year and day. Kent Scooney, Frogtown Apollo 18. Nice. Awesome. In honor of Lasorda. Cheers to that, man. Cheers. You gotta tip the cap to Lasorda. Pello Man's drinking Alvarado Double Cone. Conrad's drinking North Park Hitcha with Citra. Nice. Love North Park. North Park's like, I mean, I think a lot of people already know that they make amazing beer. But I'm kind of, in terms of people that like, you know, have their favorites already and aren't really branching out, especially people in LA, because North Park just started getting distributed here within the last like 6 months, maybe less. And they're really only coming into some of the best bottle shops in the county. So a handful of them, I don't know, 15, 20 of them. And they're just so good. North Park, I think I want to do like a all North Park tasting. I love what North Park's doing. I put North Park with like Green Cheek, with Alvarado, like they're up there in terms of what they're putting out. And they're newer too, like they're a younger brewery. But I know that Kelsey is an accomplished home brewer, and I love the whole story of home brewer turned pro brewer and just kind of like ramping it up from there. It's just really, really cool. Great community, great beer. All right, enough talking. Blind Pig, Pliny, what's it gonna be? Okay, so the nose is just amped up on this Pliny for sure. Yeah, way bigger nose, and that's to be expected. So Conrad said he got his North Park cans at Bottle Shop in Sylmar. Emily, North Park is so good and so underrated, for sure. And I think that underrated label is going to be rapidly changing here, at least in LA. In San Diego, where their beer's more available, I would be shocked if they'd be considered underrated. But definitely here in LA, where they're like kind of brand new to the scene, yeah, underrated. Jeremiah, winner of the IPA festival. Yeah, North Park did they win the first prize? They definitely won something. Yeah, they did win first. You're right. How could I forget, right? That was like the last thing we did before lockdown. All right, so I did the Blind Pig. We'll do one more again. Lolly Trom says Blind Pig. Kent Scooney says Pliny. What do you guys got? Is it Blind Pig? Is it Pliny? Which one's better? This is kind of unfair. You can't really drink these two side by side. Just because Pliny's such a bigger beer, it makes this taste like water. I mean, in the end, if I'm coming back to one of, my main categories of judgment is balance, Blind Pig has that just because everything's just dialed down a little bit more. Pig's good. Brewed Up likes that music, huh? That soundtrack. It's just, a little chill, what do they call it? Lo-fi jazz. Pello Man, don't forget Harlan. Yep. Harlan, for sure. Their beer doesn't get up here too often, unfortunately. We're just starting to see it. Really like Harlan a lot. Fernie says, Pliny is so well balanced though, not harsh at all. I completely agree with you. I think this is an unfair comparison, comparing a 6.5% beer to a, what is this one? I think Pliny's 8, right? Yeah, 8% beer. But just because it's not going to hold up. I love Pliny the Elder. I'm going to pick Pliny the Elder right now, but that's not to say that it's the better beer. I don't know how you do a side-by-side of that. There's no way to do it like fairly. Pliny's just like, it's so much more in your face. The hop profile, the flavors, the aromas, everything there is just, it's so in your face that it makes Blind Pig feel like just a really small beer that is difficult to taste the full spectrum of flavors that you know that are there. They're just hidden because everything's just been overpowered by Pliny. Yeah, if I was more professional, I think that there might be a way to do it where I'm resetting my palate in between, but ain't no one got time for that because we have one more tasting to do. We got one more side by side, and I might be the most excited about this one over all the ones that we've done so far, which is pretty incredible. Pello Man says Happy Hops is also very good. That's a shout out to my boy Conrad, one of his favorite beers. I know that beer is really good too. Fernie Pad, it's so smooth for being a double IPA. One of the smoothest, I think. Ken Scooney, yeah, I think you have the right perspective here. They're both very good. Blind Pig is crushable. Pliny is for a finish. I like that. I'll take that. That's a great position to have. Emily just cracked open Surly's Coffee Bender because I've drank enough IPAs for all of us. Yeah. I definitely have. I have no palate left. Conrad says Rachel is chiming in and saying that she thinks Kern River makes some better beers than Russian River. Hey, man. To each his own. That's a hot take. That is a hot take. Russell, what's going on, buddy? How's it going? He 1990. What's going on? Yeah, Conrad's got that Happy Hops. Russell, comment in. What are you drinking, man? Just had Russian. Okay, you beat me to it. Just had Citra Flash Mob. Nice. That's awesome. I don't know if I saw this on your Instagram, but did you get the Pale Ale version and the IPA version? Because that'd be an interesting side-by-side, right? So for Russell and for anyone else just tuning in, we're going to run through the tastings real quick before going into the final tasting of the night. Focal Banger, Alchemist, single IPA, didn't enjoy it. Sorry. Next up, I put that up against Blind Pig by Russian River. Incredible, incredible beer. Side by side on Focal Banger, it just was such a better experience in my opinion. Yeah, for my flavor preferences, that was where it hit. Then did the Heady Topper versus the Pliny. Pliny won again there. Just this West Coast boy likes that West Coast style. And Heady Topper was amazing, but up against Pliny, it just didn't get there for me. And then we did a Blind Pig versus Pliny, and Pliny just overshined everything that Blind Pig brought to the table. Just wasn't a fair fight, but you gotta keep going with Pliny. Gotta just keep going. And so we are going to keep going into the final tasting of the evening. Let's see. Russell just got the IPA, not the pale. Okay. Well, at least you got the IPA, right? He 1990 just had Smog City IPA, a classic. Russell got the hazy. We were talking about that earlier. And Russell, no, you have to... you're going to have to go back and watch from the very beginning. But no, I did not drink it from the can because why would I do that? I have a glass. All right, Conrad saying that Mind Circus got better over time. It was green up front and then got a lot better after he held on to it. All right, so we're about to roll into... Oh, Pops. Pops is in. What's going on? It says to drink from the can. All right, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my dad here who just joined the chat. This was a gift from him. So Pops jumped on that 2-stage double dry hopped online sale, and yeah, I was able to get a can. And Russell, yes, it does say drank from the can, and I said fuck that. No, I did the Heady Topper from the can, and it was nothing. Who cares, right? Okay, so Pliny the Elder versus this 2-stage double dry hopped Pliny the Elder. What's it gonna be like? All right, let's go appearance wise. We have a little bit more kind of orange on this one versus just kind of straight gold on the regular Pliny the Elder. So a little bit more orange. It's slight. There's more haziness to it, and I think you would expect that from a double dry hopped beer. And I was saying this earlier. I don't know what this 2-stage thing is all about. So I'm not a brewer. I don't know all the specifications, so I'm not sure exactly what that means or what they did. And I wish I researched it first, but it's resulting in a slightly more orange and a slightly cloudier beer compared to regular Pliny the Elder. I don't think it's coming through on the video though. And Russell driving through Santa Rosa the morning, double dry hop Pliny dropped. Oh man. Well, let's see. Let's see how pissed you should be. How is it compared to the regular? We looked at the appearance. Let's hit the nose. Beautiful West Coast double IPA nose right there. It's less sweet. Yeah, I mean, 2-stage double dry hopped, whatever that 2-stage thing is, double dry hopped is obviously going to bring you more on the aroma, and it does. It definitely does. There's a brightness on the aroma of this beer that regular Pliny doesn't have. This has kind of just a more well-rounded West Coast double IPA nose, where you do have a little bit of malt sweetness that you get on the nose that kind of balances out with the hops. The hops here kind of override that malt bill from an aroma perspective, and you're getting just a lot of fresh citrus. Just delicious orange and grapefruit. Slight dankness on this nose too, which I really, really like. Man, I wish I researched this beer and like what this double dry hop version is all about, and what's exactly different from the two. But the nose is different, the appearance is different, and let's see how they taste. So, quick swig of the reg. It's a fucking good beer, man. This is the best beer I drank tonight. Will it hold up? Good nose. Really good nose. Yeah, so the same thing that was happening on the aroma is happening on the palate. There's a little bit more kind of malt double IPA sweetness on the Pliny, whereas the double dry hops giving just a massive blast of hoppiness that is overwhelming some of that malt character, and just it's providing just it's a bigger rush, it's a bigger flavor. This is incredible. This is incredible. Wow. So I wish I had a can. I wish they had done a Pliny for President this past month that I could do side by side with this one too, and just see like what the whole difference is between all of them. Because I really like Pliny for President. I did do a side-by-side video, Pliny for President versus Pliny the Elder. It wasn't a live tasting. It's on our YouTube channel. It is a pretty cool video. So after this, you guys should check it out. Just side-by-side, what is the difference between the two? And my memory is failing me. I don't remember I think that I picked the Pliny for President, but it was really close. This one feels a little bit less close to me. Yeah, that double dry hop Pliny is it's pretty incredible. I'm kind of speechless. Hey Jess, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're drinking some good beer tonight. All right, Pops, I gotta say, thank you very much for picking up this beer and giving me some cans of it. For anyone that didn't get it, please try to find it if you have a friend that picks them up. This is the best beer I drank tonight. It's better than regular Pliny. You would already assume that it would be, but I wasn't so sure how much better it would be. And this is an incredible beer. Wow. Yeah, so I think that the malt sweetness on Pliny the Elder, it's there, and in this beer it disappears. It's just overpowered by the hops. Congratulations. That is great to hear. Congrats, Jess. The last beer you had was the day we shot our segment. That's so funny. Congratulations. That is so amazing. Props to Pops. Jeremiah's got it right there. Mr. 2020. Props to Pops. All right, Naughty Pine. Coming in with the science here. Thank you. Two-stage theory that by breaking up the dry hopping into two stages, adding the hops in at smaller quantities allows for better extraction. Okay. Awesome. Still being researched. It's a new method brewers are playing with. I love that. Thank you so much for educating us on that, because I love knowing, specifically in the hop side of things, I'm super interested on what breweries are doing, because there's a lot that's being done here that's experimental and pushing the envelope, and we don't know what this is going to do, but we're going to try it. And I watched a live tasting of Pliny for President versus Pliny the Elder with Vinny and Natalie from Russian River, and I forget the dude's name, but it's the main guy at Yakima Chief, and they were talking about all of the new things that they're experimenting with hops and extraction and double dry hopping and just really interesting things that are happening there. And from a beer drinker consumer perspective, breweries tend to not want to overwhelm people with all of the minutia of the information, but polyphenols and some of the things that breweries are experimenting with and kind of understanding with hop burn and terpenes and all of this stuff that I think should be talked about. At least I'm interested in it, and I wish I knew more about it, but Russian River is doing an awesome job on the experimental and science and research side of things. And I think for a brewery that is older, is established, is considered one of the best in the game, to be continually experimenting, especially with a brand that is just entrenched. This is, has been ranked as one of the best beers in the country, or at least the regular Pliny. The fact that they're putting out more experimental versions of it and willing to kind of push the envelope with experimental hopping techniques and things like that. I like that. That type of risk is exactly what you want to see in a brewery, in an independently owned brewery. If they were just like, hey, we brewed the best beer in the world and we're going to keep it scarce and we're going to brew it the same way we did, that we've always done, that's how you get surpassed. And so the Pliny the Elder that we're drinking today, they're doing different things with this beer than they did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So I got to respect what's going on there, and I got to respect what's going on with like the 2-stage double dry hopping process, where thanks to Naughty Pine, we know that is a process where they're splitting up the hops into smaller batches to be able to change the extraction rate that they're able to get out of that dry hop, which goes above my pay grade and is way above my head, but it's good for me to know, and I think it's good for all of us to know that there are different things going on, that there's different approaches that are happening to create the beers that we're drinking, and we should appreciate those so that we can better appreciate the end result, right? And so speaking of which, I'm appreciating the end result here with Pliny the Elder, 2-stage double dry hopped. I think this takes us to the end of our live tasting today. We're right at about an hour. So thank you guys so much for joining in. This was a really special one for me personally. I really enjoyed drinking all these beers, and just, from a nostalgia standpoint and emotional standpoint, you never think, 10 years ago when you first get into craft and you hear about the Alchemist, and when Pliny the Elder was still something we chased here in Southern California and even in Los Angeles, that, that these are actually accessible here in 2020. So pretty cool stuff. Hope you guys all get your hands on these beers. But if not, let's just continue to keep talking about them. Let's continue to keep going out of our way to pick up stuff that's special, that brewers go out of their way to create something new and something unique and something interesting. And let's continue that conversation, because that's what this all is all about. So, before I head out, Fernie Pad, you bring up a perfect point. The Topa Topa Casa Agria collab. I am so excited about those two, that double collab release that they did today. The Topa Topa was the West Coast, I forget exactly how it went. So Topa Topa did a hazy version of a West Coast, and Casa Agria did a West Coast version of a hazy. Different hop bills, came in around the same ABV, but they both collabed on each of them. Topa Topa is a little bit more well known for their West Coast, and then Casa Agria way more well known for their hazy. And so this collab kind of like blends the lines between the two. I think, in my opinion, the future of the IPA style does lie in the middle ground between hazy and West Coast. This hybrid West Coast hazy IPA, I think, is the future of the style. And so it was so cool to see both of those breweries collabing and putting something out. It did make it in today's release radar, even though they're both in Ventura County. I am going to be getting my hands on some cans. Thank you to Pops again. My dad, who lives in Ventura County, did pick up those cans, and I will be getting some of those, and I'm very excited to try it. I encourage you guys all to check it out if you can. But big excitement around the intersection between hazy and West Coast, because it's I think that's an interesting moment that we're in right now. Like IPAs kind of come a lot of different ways, and things are kind of, I think, converging in a way that appeal to all types of palates and flavor profiles. So anyways, I'm gonna do it. Pliny the Elder, 2-stage, double dry hopped, amazing beer, winner of the tasting. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next Friday for another Friday Night Live. Peace out.